What's next? We got some Elden Ring stuff. Sparking Zero community. Although the Sparking Zero community at this point, like, we're just spitting on them. They're kind of dead. There's a few people out there fighting the good fight, but like, I think they know. They know to shut the fuck up. Just stay in your corner, play your new Beast Gohan DLC, and just never say anything to us again. We don't care that you got Gamma 21 and Gamma 23 or whatever the fuck them damn androids is called. Them niggas know. Niggas paid $11 to use 3 different Gohans. Them niggas know. Because if you say something, I'm on your ass. You pay your $11 and play with Gohan and be quiet. As a Sonic fan, I don't ever recommend niggas play Sonic Riders. Yeah, just L's on top of L's. We got some news in regards to the new Elden Ring DLC. It will drop on May 30th, 2025. Yo, shout out to Rain Stepper with the sub. Appreciate it. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be there day one. We got a new minute-long trailer for Elden Ring Nightreign. There's a beta going on right now. I wasn't blessed to get into it. But you know, let's check out this trailer. Let's see what's going on. As well, I got some new info on it too. This is a Twitter trailer, so it's not gonna be crispy, but you know, because Elon won't fix the site. Too busy doing ketamine. Play with the squad? Oh, of course. That's the whole reason to play.
You were chosen.
Audio woke me up. This shit loud as hell. I swear we've seen this gameplay already. That at least. Oh, is that like a new dagger fighting style? Blue dragons. BBC blades.
Bands together.
Body Vadida. Who? Drop the video.
Of the Night Lord.
This is. I think this is new gameplay. Is this an old trailer? Is that video long? They did a preview review. How long is that video? I do know we got this. DLC is confirmed. So like when they drop the content, that's not all there's gonna be. Because in the deluxe edition of Steam, they found that there will be additional DLC listed, as well as additional player characters, bosses, all that other stuff. It's 11 minutes. Link that shit in the chat. Who got the link? I don't know that channel. Vidavida? Vidaviki? Can you react to Cubic Odyssey? Would love to see your reaction. What's that? Cubic Odyssey. What is that? Super Mario with a fucking cube or something? While I'm waiting for that, nigga.
Thanks for resubscribing.
Yo, shout out to King. That was my reaction. I'm not looking at that. Yo, shout out to King Bing with the sub. Appreciate it. I am. Hey, don't any game that looks like pedophiles play it. I'm not touching that shit. And if you recommend me another game like that, I'm gonna fucking give you a 600. We don't play no games that look like they're pedophile friendly. We stay away. That boy, get your ass fucking banned, bruh. That shit is not funny.
You ain't funny.
As soon as I saw that Pixar, we not playing no diamond or sword shit. Where are we going? All right, let's check this one out.
The footage in this video was provided by Bandai Namco, as no capture was permitted during the event. So unfortunately, some of the really cool things I talk about may not always be perfectly represented on screen.
The Pokemon sound.
Now,
Pokemon
on to
sound
the preview.
generational.
Tragedy must be averted.
That fucking ass man.
And for
Tyson,
that,
what the fuck
I
tell you
need
about?
your help.
Elden Ring Nightreign is not a battle royale. Not that you ever thought it was, but as a former battle royale enjoyer, I can't help but compare the white knuckle moments I get when the storm closes in on me in those last gripping moments of a
Yo, what the fuck does that? What the fuck does that mean? Yo, what's the context? Yo, chat. That was like the whitest slang I've ever heard in my life. We just had a white knuckle moment. What does that mean? Like, no, I need a cultural explanation on it. I don't know what a white knuckle moment is. What does that mean, bruh? It's a tense moment. I've never heard that in my life. Yeah, ashy knuckles, like a what?
half-hour-long session to the nail-biting bits where I'm desperately trying to outrun the encroaching circle and make it to a life-saving site of grace in Nightreign.
That nigga might as well have said G. Willikers.
The elements are completely absent in Nightreign.
For
though
Pete's
not
sake.
missed one bit. Still, you'll drop into a map with
That's
a
so
squad,
fire the way they're
start
dropping
from
in the
nothing,
angle.
and spend your time ransacking the map to hopefully
golly
power
gee.
yourself up for the final battle. From the risk-reward moments of looting a church for one more flask
It looks
charge
way more
as the circle
fast-paced.
closes in, to the wave of sadness you feel when experiencing a devastating loss after taking so much time building yourself up. It's hard not to see the battle royale
Translation. If we spend all this time looting and the first boss we run into, we get wiped, motherfuckers are going to be getting yelled at in the Discord. This game will cause a lot of turmoil in friendships.
influences. But after 4 hours of playing the upcoming stress test build, I'm ecstatic to report that Nightreign probably won't tarnish the Elden Ring name.
We just had a white knuckle moment.
When beginning a match, you'll be given a choice to pick one of 4 available classes, though there will be a total of 8 when Nightreign launches. The current options will be the all-arounder Wilder, the speedy glass cannon Duchess, the tanky Guardian, and
I'm glad you get to pick the class. I was worried that like when you jumped in, it was just going to give you a random class. So if you find something you like, you can stick with it and then just keep getting better at it.
the magic-wielding Recluse. Each class has its own strengths and weaknesses, of course, but in my time with this build, I found that the most fun class to play was the Duchess, thanks to her powerful ability.
The Duchess.
Swift and nimble.
Dagger.
dodges.
No.
It's
It's pre-builds.
Which was
This is a
incredibly
separate game.
powerful, but I ran out of FP quite often, and with no FP flasks, they aren't in this Elden Ring, she'll definitely be one of the harder classes to play effectively. Each class comes equipped with a leveling path, which I'll talk about more in a moment, but more importantly,
The JG
they all
build.
have unique skill and ultimate abilities. The Duchess,
Big-ass
for
fort.
example, has an incredibly powerful skill that repeats the last 1.5 seconds of damage an enemy has just taken, and it has a short cooldown to boot. Also, it's not just your damage, it's everyone's damage. So while you're flipping around the battlefield landing attacks, you're also waiting for huge health spikes to try and capitalize on doubling that damage. It's great stuff. Other skills also match the class's predetermined role. The Wilder can do a blast attack to try to land big damage. The Guardian can create a large shield, both negating damage and reviving.
Yeah, it's coming out this summer,
allies.
Pepe. Welcome.
While the
welcome.
Recluse can curse an enemy, granting all attackers HP and FP bonuses. So while players can double up classes in a run, it's always a good idea to talk about team strengths and weaknesses to diversify your group. When starting completely fresh, players will find themselves in Nightreign's Roundtable Hold. After matchmaking with 2 other random players, or using a multiplayer password to play directly with your friends, a small cutscene will play and everyone will soar over Limvale, not Limgrave, before landing and beginning their run. A full run of Nightreign lasts around 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how fast you take down the ending bosses. While it's presented as a 3-day cycle, it really boils down to 5 separate phases: Day 1, Night 1, Day 2, Night 2, and the final boss. When Day 1 begins, the map is fully open, and that's when you'll begin exploring and leveling up. Everyone's level 1
I wonder
at
how
the outset
potions will
with
be
basic
distributed.
starting gear, save for relics that you're rewarded with at the end of every round that grant you persistent buffs between matches, with better relics being offered for better performances. Once landed, my team always beelined for the first enemy camp we could find for a quick boost of experience to begin leveling up, which was key to defeating stronger foes. From there, you'll decide what your team wants to do by looking at the surrounding area on the map, as it will be littered with points of interest for you to explore. Each point of interest typically comes with predictable rewards. Churches will house a flask charge to
okay, there we go.
overall
He
health
answered the
potion
question.
uses. Castles will feature a mini-boss that drops more powerful gear, and rises, similar to Ronnie's Rise found in the lands between, will present a simple puzzle to solve before entering to find even more gear.
Puzzles?
Just to name a few of many. Where to go in Limvale feels kind of overwhelming.
I'm so excited for this shit.
But the threat of the ever-closing circle will eventually...
Anybody who says gaming is dead is a fucking fraud, dude. There was already a gazillion. There was like 40 games that I was excited for in 2025 before we even entered the year. They just added like 5 or 6 more from this PlayStation State of Play, plus the Xbox Direct from like 2 weeks ago. It's too many games, bro. Fucking broke over here. When you play games, we different, you know? I'm broke because I'm enjoying too much of this content.
Thanks for
You broke because you can't afford a PS4. Yo, shout out to Auntie with the sub, appreciate it.
Train your brain to keep on the move. Speed is the name of the game during the day cycle, and luckily everything seems to be built.
Y'all just gonna have to accept
For
I can't play
starters,
everything,
leveling up
man.
is as quick as a button press. As I mentioned, each of the 4 network test classes.
This is what I'm worried about, though. I'm worried about them just having repeat bosses. I hope there's a lot of original content, too. I'm okay with this, like, for, like, you know, grinding your character, but, like, the big bosses, I hope there's a lot of original content.
Has a predetermined stat upgrade path. So when you run up to a site of grace to refill your health, FP, and flash charges, you'll also be presented with the leveling menu, which only requires you to press confirm to increase your level. Heck, you may even have enough rooms to level up 3 or 4 times, and with 3 or 4 button presses,
sweet.
you're all done and substantially more powerful.
To change some of the
If
bosses
you have
slightly.
experience
True,
in
true,
Souls
true.
games, the day phases should be a breeze. While searching the map for loot upgrades, I ran into recognizable Elden Ring mobs. My team and I decided to take down a camp, but first we had to fight 3 scattered fire chariots before getting our loot reward. Another time, we climbed to the top of a castle to fight a Godskin noble. That should be scary, but with 2 other tarnished by your side,
It was light work.
these mobs and bosses go down pretty fast. Moving around is also
Wait. They should go down pretty fast. If you're playing in a party of 3 experienced Souls players, it should go down fast. The problem is, a lot of y'all use mimic tiers and summons, so you're gonna get exposed because it's not in this game.
But unfortunately, dick
way
riding is not
faster
a
than in
proper
the
form of
original Elden Ring.
transportation.
You won't be
hear
clawing
that,
the
Shadow?
controller.
I was in a stream like a few weeks ago. This nigga was at. It's one of the last few bosses before you get to the last boss. What's the dude? He starts off with the cloak and then he turns into the big ass wolf, the one at the end with the big ass sword. You know what I'm talking about? What's his name? You also had to fight one of the dudes on the horse. Malekith. Yeah, Malekith. I was in somebody's random stream. This dude was on Malekith and didn't know the basics of the game. This nigga popped 10 potions, 2 summons, and just screamed. I'm like, can you learn at least try to fight the dude? How did you get this far? That's why some people call it easy. So I'm like, in theory, you should be able to beat these bosses. But if it doesn't have the gimmicks that were in the base game, this might be a little hard for some people. And I would imagine because it's co-op, they're going to scale the health of the enemy. So you might get exposed.
Since sprinting is moved from circle, or B, to simply clicking the left stick. Sprinting is also about twice as fast as the regular Elden Ring. Fall damage? Nope. None here.
That's fun.
Getting down a cliff is easy, and you can even run up walls
This
parkour
footage
style,
look crispy.
or use spirit springs to get around. Besides just rune hunting to raise your level, you'll also be trying to build a character to take on the night bosses. There is no armor, save for shields, in Nightreign. Only 6 weapon slots and 2 amulet slots. How it works
popped
is,
your shoulder while
typical
sneezing?
Elden Ring
Yeah, you
fashion,
old.
You can switch between your left and right-handed
You done?
weapons
Pack it up,
and
bro.
shields on the fly. But
to
everything
your
on your
30s.
person will give you buffs. For example, let's say you found a Reduvia dagger with high bleed.
A Reduvia dagger?
Choose. This could be the start of a bleed build. Now let's say you take down a boss and you're presented with a few other weapons to
Yeah, I
choose
saw the
from,
Lies of P trail.
and you
That shit was
spot a
fire.
spear that increases your status effect buildups.
Yeah,
you're
you're
not
cooked,
going
buddy.
to use that spear as you'll want to stick
That
with
nigga
your
watching the
dagger.
stream, rolling his shoulder.
But you'll
and
still
shit.
benefit from the status effect buildup.
Go ahead and roll your shoulder a little bit and use that to pick up your wallet and drop 5 subs in the chat.
Think
for
of
me.
it almost like a roguelike. Sometimes the synergy of weapon effects and stat upgrades you'll get will build
for the
off each
resub,
other
pal.
so well
Now I can
that
afford
you'll
a
eventually
retwist for
start
my
melting
loss.
mobs left
Yeah, shout out
and
to
right.
Woody Ease with the
Other
sub.
times you'll want something like a poison build, only to keep getting weapons that increase your FP regeneration.
What? My FP regeneration.
Weapons aren't the only rewards either. Oftentimes when looting a boss, you'll get to choose a stat upgrade or a modifier. Some of these are less exciting than others, such as a 10% increase in physical damage. Useful, yes. Exciting, not so much. Other times you'll get something really cool like a passive power-up that drops a big poise-breaking lightning strike every time you dodge, or an enemy slowing frost nova every time you begin to sprint. You can work these into your build for some powerful combinations.
That's fire.
While the day phases can feel like a walk in the park, it's the night bosses that serve as a real skill check. After the circle has closed enough to end a day phase, a minor Erd tree will appear, signaling that it's time to take on the night boss. Over the hours I played, my team ranged from completely decimating the Night 1 boss to barely scraping by. If someone goes down, you'll revive that person by simply attacking their downed body, with
You gotta stab him in the ass to
attacks
get him up?
needed
That's
the
crazy.
more often they drop. Regardless, the way the Night 1 ends will usually inform you on how the rest of the run will go. I've seen teams come back from barely scraping by the Night 1 boss, but if that boss was tough, you're likely behind in your leveling and you'll have an uphill battle ahead of you to have a chance against the Night 2 boss. Day 2 begins the same way Day 1 did. You'll once again have a full map to
We didn't
explore
deserve this
to
greatness,
level
but I'll
and
gladly
find
accept
better
it. I feel
equipment
that.
and power-ups. Occasionally, you'll be invaded by a random Margit the Fell Omen who will chase you until he dies or he wipes your party. If your team
What?
wipes during the day, you'll drop your runes and respawn at the nearest site of grace. You can recover your runes, but the main thing lost here is time, which was
Right.
wasted fighting an enemy you didn't get a reward from and wasted having to recover your lost runes. If your team wipes during a night boss, it's game over, and you'll need to begin a new run. By the time Night 2
This is
rears
gonna be
its
funny.
ugly head, it's time for
Bro,
the
why are you putting
skill
virus links in the
During our
chat?
playtest, we were met with two different night
If you don't
bosses.
if you don't
You'll
delete
either
that
be faced
Google
with a
privacy
Sentinel
link,
demon who is tough but feels somewhat manageable, or 3 Sentinel Knights that really suck.
nigga
In
dropping
my 6
private
or
br-
7
private
full
browser
runs of
links.
Nightreign, my team was only able to get past Night 2 just once. Finally,
So it's
Day
hard.
3 is
Ooh, look at level
incredibly
design.
straightforward. There isn't one. Instead, you'll be able to spend your last bit of runes either leveling up or buying consumable items from a vendor, and then you and your team will take on the final boss of the run. As I mentioned before, depending on
Can you
how
post a link
far
to this
you've gotten
video?
your
Yeah, I
run,
got you.
each player will be rewarded with a relic that provides
go.
a persistent upgrade for your characters. These can range from simple stat increases to modifiers that will set you on a build path right from the
So
jump.
you know when you
For
about to
my
fight the
preview, this
final
seems
boss.
to be the only meaningful progression Nightreign has to offer, though I imagine the full game may have more in store for us.
This game looks fire, but I heard a lot of the bosses are definitely designed around having a full party. It's gonna be annoying with randoms. Why are you playing this with randoms? This is for the boys. You ain't got two friends to play with?
Nightreign is a lot of fun. Pulling off
Yeah, this is going to be
the
quality content. This is going to be some
provides
funny
the
shit if
same
it's
sense of
actually hard.
accomplishment you felt when taking down
We gonna find out who got good basics.
his foes. The moment around
Hey, hop in the Discord then. Hop in it. It's the whole Discord plays Elden Ring.
next time around. And the
Discord.gg/GI updates, or
finally
type
took
Discord
down
in the
that
chat.
blasted Day 3 boss reminds me why I love the Souls-like genre so much. In its current form, Nightreign could be seen as a little content light, so I'm incredibly interested to see how it shakes out when it releases sometime
Mickey
in
runs.
2025. But for now, it's been a few days since I've played Nightreign, and still, it's all I think about. I absolutely can't wait to jump back in for more. For more previews from IGN, make sure to check out
They
our
could easily just drop new bosses in like every month. They could throw like old classic ones from like Bloodborne and fucking Dark Souls and even Sekiro bosses in there to keep things fresh, and as well as new ones. My friends don't be on the Souls shit that much. Oh, we gonna see who cheats through Elden Ring pretty much. Nah, it's not $5 to join. It's been free, bruh. Discord been free for like 2 years. Yo, you have to check out the 2K put out for the WD. I already checked it out, villain. That shit is ass. The WWE City. That shit is ass. And then let's see, the 4 classes available in the beta are these ones. If you got access to it, there you go. You said a permanent 600? Nah,